Dear all, let's go to our closing remarks. We aimed to create bridges between scholars. We aim to have academic discussions. I think that we implemented this all in successful way, and our aim is to start new book project. You have information in your emails, so I will wait abstracts of those scholars who will be interested to join it. And I want to thank you. Thank you very much. I am very grateful that you come very long road in this not easy situation, political, economic, and of course I know that in many airports there was snow, but you did it, you came here, and we could do it together. So thank you very much. I am very grateful from all of you. Now I also want to give a floor. Dr. Mabin, please, for your closing remarks.
Thank you so much. And I just want to express my thinking, use 4 letters. The first one is M, and the China-Eurasia conference is a platform for all the scholars who focus on these issues, and is a very good platform. I think it will be a platform and harbor to the scholars from the different countries to communication. And the second letter is H, and to H, because in the past 2 days we have very hard work, and actually yesterday and today we always run over almost 1 hour, and so it's a very hard work. And the second H is about the hot issues. In the 2 days conference, we discussed a lot of hot issues related with China and Eurasia, and also even we were interviewed by NATO, but it was a very hot issue. Yes. And the third letter is E, 3E, and the first is exhausted. We are opinions, very good discussions, and then is excellent discussion, the 3E. And the fourth letter is 4R. The first is maybe reshaping and rebuilding the platform after the pandemic. In the past 3 years, we only have this discussion online, and yes, but but this kind of communication, I think, is really needed for all of us. And the 3R, the third and fourth R maybe is refresh or rethinking, because through this kind of communication, we have refreshed our opinion and got a lot of new ideas to help us rethinking a lot of new issues. But we can also add a lot of the other R's. But however, I just want to use the MHER to express my thanks to our organizer. Thank you so much.
Yeah, this is, of course, the 5th edition of the conference, but my first. And I didn't know what to expect. But I can tell you as I leave from here that I got more than I expected, in a sense. So I think in terms of the substance, even though this conference was about China and Eurasia, we covered a lot without losing focus on the main theme. And I think great power competition will continue, no doubt, not only at the global level, but also at the regional and sub-regional level. And that, to me, is indicative of a new terminology that is doing the rounds, which is, decentered globalism to a large extent. I think we're beginning to see that specific regional powers are beginning to take up the mantle of solving regional problems. And so we may see this sort of new world order where you will have regional powers trying to manage regional issues, which may undermine superpowers in the next decades. And what all this means is that we are also living in a world which Brzezinski referred to as a global political awakening, occurring for the first time, where almost all of humanity is politically activated, politically conscious, and politically interactive. And this is happening as a result of all of them wanting not to go back to the colonial mindset and the colonial era. And what is enabling them to do this, what is enabling them in this reawakening process, is basically technology, which has connected and informed societies in ways that was previously not possible. So I think this has encouraged a great deal of strategic autonomy for middle and small powers. And in future, countries with old and new energy resources, with those with physical and digital connectivity, will continue to somehow undermine superpowers, or may become the superpowers. In my view, I think those with technology, those with digital connectivity will be the new superpowers. They are not going to be the ones with military prowess. So we must be open to that idea. So over the last 30 hours, we heard a variety of views. We had, a diverse set of topics, diverse set of views, in fact, from about at least 20 countries. And East, West, North, South, and you called it connecting the Hollywood to Bollywood, and maybe many woods in between. And I think a standout feature of this conference to me was also the presentation made by some very young scholars, those who are pursuing their PhD thesis and those who may have just about finished their thesis. I think the mix was really good. It perhaps validated some of the old thinking and brought in maybe new perspectives. And I definitely noted the fact that maybe we had people from about, except your daughters being in their teens, we had people in their 20s to people who are maybe in their 70s and more. I think that really was a great standout feature. And the most important thing, I'm very impressed with the Armenian academic, standout presentations that were made, especially in the last, presentation, in the last panel as well. So overall, very, very impressed. I'm going back home greatly enriched, both personally and in terms of my intellectual abilities. I hope all of you feel the same as you head back home. And I can't end without a word of appreciation to not just Mher, but and to the China-Eurasia Council for Political and Strategic Research, but also to Mher's family. I think the entire family has been involved, and I think they made the public event. They gave the public event a personal touch, which really is a standout feature. We had great discussions, we had great food, we had great drinks, and we had great food. We will have great food for thought as we move forward. So thanks to your colleagues as well, who've done a great deal of work behind the scenes. Really appreciate all of that. And full marks to you for conducting this as efficiently as you did, and for your hospitality once more. And I'm sure, there is no doubt that you and your council will have a great future. And I know that dinner awaits us. I won't stand between dinner and you. Have a safe trip home, all of you. And till we meet again, goodbye.
Thank you.
Well, after those wonderful comments with which I fully concur, I'm going to be very brief and just say that the issues we've all been talking about here the last couple of days are extremely important. And we're in a period of such uncertainty and flux and disruption. And so it means that the work that everyone in this room and those who've already had to leave early, this work is very important, and it's important that we do this in a scholarly way. It's important that Mher takes this conference and turns it into a book, It's important that we back up our arguments with evidence. It's also important that we take those arguments out into the general public as well, and actually contribute to understanding about these very important issues. And I think the work that Mher and his team at the China-Eurasia Council for Political and Strategic Research, the work that they do is magnificent, and it's so done in such a friendly way as well. So we all have felt extremely welcome. We have all enjoyed this conference immensely. And with that, I'll be very brief and just say thank you very much, Mher and team. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sahakyan. It's a very, very perfect meeting. And when I was noticed that I have to give this closing remarks, I was relaxed before, but I got a little bit nervous again. So first of all, I sincerely appreciate Dr. Sahakyan and Dr. Mher Sahakyan and their two beautiful daughters to organize these meetings, and appreciate Annie and this beautiful lady and the handsome guy who organized this meeting. Let's applaud for them. It's very hard work, and thank you for spending so much time to make us feel like home. And I think most of us have the similar feelings. Before the meetings, we might feel a little bit nervous and intense because we need to know that we should do our best to communicate and publish our opinions. And during the meetings, we are all focused and we are fully concentrate on our agenda. So that's what we are. And after the meeting, we will feel totally relaxed, but a little bit sentimental, because we should we want another gathering in the future. And I really believe that it won't take long. And as I mentioned in my speech before, I really hope that we can have a consensus between China and Eurasia. From today's these 2 days of meeting, I sincerely feel that we establish a very bottom line consensus, and that is mutual respect and mutual learning, and we can enhance our research together. And to share with all of you, to say that in my already published 3 academic papers in China, I have already quoted some of our team members' opinions, like Dr. Sahakyan, Dr. Mher Sahakyan, and Dr. Korolev, Alexander, and Dr. Professor Gardner. Your opinions have already appeared in Chinese officially published journals. And I really want to make more and more Chinese academia to know your opinions. And I will keep doing this in the future. And after the meeting, I will collect many of you's research, and I will translate them and introduce and quote them, and let more and more Chinese academia to know your research. And that's what I can do in the future. So we really hope that we can do together to make construct a better Eurasia, and to be a positive builder under this turbulence and changing world order. This is not a cliche or empty talk, but a sincere hope and attainable vision. And to end my remarks, I will use the Armenian goodbye. Hajjoglution.
I don't know how to say in Armenian goodbye, but I mastered Barz, so I can only say this. So actually, I have very high expectations before I came here, because it's my 4th time. But I can say that they just not confirmed, they were surpassed, actually, the expectation. Because you really, guys, you're doing such a great job, such a fascinating job. So Mher, Naid, Ani, Liana, so all of you. So of course, the beautiful daughters of Parzan and Sahakyan family. So you're doing a great job. And every time when I come here, I come back here in Armenia, I feel like a family. And it's really not just because all the families involved in the creation of these events, but really emotionally feel like a family. And of course, we all different, right? So our countries are so different, and our policies are so different, and our countries have so many issues between each other. But what I really enjoyed, so we are academia, right? We're not politicians. So our goal is not to make the world better. So it's too much for us, right? So our job is just to make the academia, to make the thoughts really better in terms of the quality, in terms of the quality of speeches, in terms of the quality of ideas, and enrichment of the ideas. So I think we successfully did this, and each year we're doing this, and this year is extremely was grateful in terms of the different ideas. And what I really enjoyed that we are really, this conference, all these speeches, all the presentations were so straightforward, so open, so no prejudice, no bias, no nothing. So we really just dive deep into very details. And one of the word which I really enjoy is respect. So we all respected each other, right? So no criticism, no nothing. But at the same time, we covered so many sensitive issues about Russia, about China, about India, about NATO, about US. But you see Armenia, of course, right? But you see in Turkey as well. But you see no criticism, no nothing. So it's all about respect. So what I want to say, so I look like a missionary here, right? But at the same time, so I really want everybody else to respect each other, and we have to understand that everything is being really ground-footed here, right? Very rooted here. So that's why we need to go back to our countries and to share this respect to each other. So this is what I want to provide. So thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Mher, once again. What you have achieved is really remarkable and unique. Already 3 books published, a 4th one coming soon, and a 5th project right after. That's incredible pace. And what is more remarkable is that compared to famous conferences, not going to name them, but everyone knows those meeting every year in the US with thousands of delegates. What we have done today and yesterday is doing real research, meaning exchanging ideas, with different research methodology, different opinions, different topics, while not excluding those we didn't agree with or thought their research might not be like what we do, which is often the case when you go to conferences on the other side of the Atlantic. And this is even more important given the context we are, where for political ideas, political ideology, government or NGOs or any other actor tried and attempt, sometimes and often, sadly, successfully, to divide people. This kind of conference is the bridge. Unless I'm wrong, it's the only conference where you have Turkish people talking to Armenians, with Australians, French, Italian, so NATO members, talking with Russian people, also with Indian and Chinese. That would not be possible in any other context. And while we also talk about serious stuff in a serious way, we also, after that, have friendly and unserious talks. So this is what real academia is. And as a French, it would be very bad for me to talk any longer, given the also cultural and personal relations we have with food. So I'm not going to talk any longer, so everyone can enjoy the after-work party. Thank you.
Conference. I just want to say that this conference is an exemplification of trust. Trust is really the beginning of peace, and communication is the maintenance of trust and peace. And as was mentioned in an Asian context, face gemienza, right? This goes a long way. It's contextually very rational for us to respect each other. And what I do in my job is I try to bridge the gap of knowledge between India, and China. But even this fantastic conference brings together so many stakeholders from Japan, Kazakhstan, Turkey, India, UAE, Lebanon, EU, Russia, China, and of course, Armenia. I repeat that it is very important for us abroad to all be educated about Armenia and to care about what happens here. There are great challenges and great opportunities, in which context we must always respect international law and the UN Charter and leave superiority complexes and colonialism to the last century. So for Armenia, I say I stand with Armenia, and I hope as we go home, we all do too. So thank you.
So thank you all. As I mentioned during my presentation, this is my second time here. So last year was my first time, and I think that was love at first sight when I came here, because of the welcoming environment that I encountered here, as well as the academic richness, the diversity of all the people, and as just Mathieu referred to it, this conference compared to a Western conference is a smaller one, obviously, but as diverse as a Western conference, and in terms of views, perspectives, and people. And it's really good to hear people speaking their own research from different countries of the Eurasian continent. So actually I learned a lot, not in terms of facts, but in terms of perspectives, just to be more open to countries that are not in the forefront of everyday academic discussion. So in that sense, it was really great to be here. And I also want to thank for the great organization of this event, because that's just exceptional, really, the welcoming environment again. Just like last time, a year ago when I was here, I expected that this is a beginning of a beautiful cooperation, and cooperation is really the word here, because as many before me referred to it, this is a unique feature of the way Professor Mher is working, that cooperation, trust, respect to each other is the central element of his work, and I really appreciate that, because that facilitates an environment in which we can openly share our ideas about diverse issues. So again, thank you for the organization of this event. As I mentioned, this is just the beginning, I guess. So even if it's not really the beginning, because it's the 5th anniversary, but I guess Yerevan will be and is a collection point for scholars of Eurasia, and I'm really happy that I can be a part of that. So thank you.
Dear colleagues, the floor is open. If someone else wants to say something, please. Please.
I'm below the legal size. Sorry, I will not keep you long. I think everybody's hungry and a bit tired, but I wouldn't like to go without thank you very much, Professor Mher, for accepting me to be part of this actually lovely family. Thank you to your entire family. Congratulations are in order, as I understood. Thank you to technical support. It has been great. And everything actually is my first time in Armenia. I've traveled a lot. 20 years of my life, I've traveled 90% of the world. But it's my first time in Armenia, and I have like chicken. You know, food is great. People are great. It was my first time in a country where I don't even know the currency. And everything was great. Everything went smooth for me. When I go to a conference, I take the presumptions that I am the less prepared in the room, because every single time, with no exception, I learn more things, as our previous colleagues said, not in terms of statistics or number, but of perspectives. And Eurasia, China, and Middle East are rising. And if we are not prepared and learn about them, we will do not know what to do with them, because we live in our bubbles. You know what I want to say? And everything what is coming from outside, it's like an enemy for us. And it's quite sad, because we are all living in the same international system. And even if we are not diplomats or policymakers, it's part of our job as researchers to make this world a better place for us and for the next generations. Congratulations again. It was such a pleasure to meet you and to listen to you all. I have made new friends. I met virtual friends as Professor Mher and Gia, and I really hope to see you next year again. Good luck to all of you, and happy holidays.
Thank you very much. It was great teamwork. Do we have any other opinion? If yes, please. Criticism, please. If no, let's just go and have our food. Yes, see you maybe next year during the next edition. Thank you very much. Thank you.